Well, I kind of saw this happening, I really did. One of Keir Starmer's political prisoners has died, allegedly committed suicide in prison. His name was Peter Lynch. He was 61 years old. He was a grandfather. He passed away at HMP Moorland. Now, he was sentenced to 2 years and 8 months for protesting outside a hotel in Rotherham, which was housing asylum seekers, I think. Correct me in the comments. Anyway, he had an offensive placard and was shouting stuff. So for that, he was incarcerated. His freedom was taken away, and that's it. He wasn't being violent, but it is what it is. And 20 other men were sentenced to a similar term inside Britain 2024 under a lethal socialist Labour government under Keir Starmer, and it's all on him. This guy, Keir Starmer, he intervened. He actively strong-armed local authorities to fast-track these people involved in the various protests over the summer to make sure that they were made an example of. The mythical far right, of course. He wanted these people banged up so he could showcase them to his mates, to his oh-so progressive, woke, Guardian reading, metropolitan elite. There's so many words for these people. Wine bar activist, champagne socialist, I've used that one. Bourgeoisie, completely out of touch, middle class, London bubble, who have no idea about the real world, and yet they constantly lecture us about what's good for us. We didn't know what we voted for when it came to Brexit, of course, but that's what these people are like. They are a parody of themselves, and he had these people locked up so he could show them, look, I have the far right here, look at them in the prisons. I've got them. I told you they existed. Here they are. Look, naughty racists. That's what it's all about. And this guy, this gentleman, Peter Lynch, allegedly committed suicide. Remember now, was it a Sky News journalist that gave the ominous warning, the far right had better watch it now in prison, because you know who'll be after them. We know who he's talking about. I worked in that sector for 11 years, and there are gangs of them practically running the wings. You either convert or life's not very easy for you. And nothing's being done about it, nothing whatsoever. It's frightening. I've known hardened criminals begging for transfers to other prisons where these gangs don't exist, and yet they do, and they're spreading. These gangs are spreading. Is this what Keir Starmer, Nick Knowles, the leader of one of the leaders of Hope Not Hate, the progressive journalists, activists, is that what they want for people like us? Is that our ultimate destiny, our fate, to be publicly and quickly fast-tracked to lengthy prison sentences and then dealt with inside by you-know-who? Is that what they want for us? Why? Why is that? Why do they hate us so much for just wanting what's best for our country? I accept we are different ideologies, and everyone wants what's best for this country, but I think when it comes to them, people like the left, it's not betterment of the country for everyone, it's betterment for them, while everyone else is trampled underfoot, if you know what I mean. It's socialism. Socialism for those at the top, communism for them at the bottom. And Peter Lynch wasn't the first victim. There was that lad who threw bacon at the doors of a certain worship building belonging to a certain community. He was given a prison sentence for that, and he died inside. Remember that? Look it up. I'm not going to name names. You've got to be careful, you see. You've really got to be careful. But it's quite concerning. It's frightening, and they're out to get you. And I don't mean to scaremonger people here, but 2 years, 8 months for that. I mean, come off it, for heaven's sake. Let's look what he did. He called the police names, and he had an offensive placard, and he was shouty. Isn't that what happens at nearly every Free Plasticine pro-Hamas march in London? And the police don't touch him. Why is that? We all know why, don't we? I think this is an absolute travesty of justice. It's a piss take. It is an assault on free speech, freedom of expression, and there are many victims. There are many more to come, I believe. You keep an eye out for Labour councillor or former Labour councillor Ricky Jones, who said what he did. Let's cut their throats and get rid of them, he said to a huge crowd of lefties, to a massive applause and cheers, he did. He's remanded in custody, and I think his trial is in January, the end of January. Now, if he gets anything less than Peter Lynch or Lucy Connolly, then we will know who is allowed to say what in this country. I mean, my goodness, did our glorious war dead, did they fight and die for this? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure if I was in their shoes, and I was to a degree, of course I served in the mob for 8 years. I've served my country, but I wouldn't serve it again. Simply because of what it has become now and who runs it. I don't agree with the direction this country is going. I don't agree with the ideology that's running it, socialism. And our people are being prosecuted for pointing out what's going wrong, for daring to speak up, making ourselves known, showing our faces, to voice our valid concerns. People like Peter Lynch. You know, there's worse to come. I reckon there's much, much worse to come. It won't be imprisonment. It'll be something else. I mean, was Peter Lynch sent to prison to die? I don't think Peter Lynch, when he attended that protest, expected to be arrested. I don't think Peter Lynch expected to then be charged. I don't think Peter Lynch expected to be remanded in custody. I don't think Peter Lynch expected to go to jail for nearly 3 years, a 3-year sentence, almost. I don't think Peter Lynch would end up allegedly taking his own life, committing suicide, behind bars. A 61-year-old grandfather. He had problems. He had health problems, diabetes, autism, recent heart problems, but the judge didn't take any of that into consideration. Keir Starmer wanted his far right on display in prison so he can show them to his mates. There's a lot to say on this, but you've got to be careful how you say it. You've got to be careful how you say it. And it's sad. It really is sad. You know, to commit suicide, as the establishment and the authorities claim that he did. I mean, we don't know, do we? We really don't know. Things go on in prisons that people never find out, and I know that. Things are kept behind those prison walls. You have no idea, ladies and gentlemen. There are true monsters behind those bars, behind those walls, and I'd say about 1% of them are out to get you. Not people like Peter Lynch. He's not out to get anyone. He was just a concerned citizen, as far as I'm concerned. That's what I think. But to allegedly, I mean, even to put him in that place where he ended up in such a dark place that he thought that the only way out was to commit suicide, take his own life. For him to be put in that position is a damning indictment on our state, our legal system, which is two-tier, the government, and Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer has a hand in this. Peter Lynch's blood is on his hand here. The guy had a family. He wasn't a violent thug. People are more concerned, the press are more concerned about that lad who was shot by the police recently. That's making the news, rather than a guy who was expressing His free speech, his right to assemble, and this happens to him. Yet they're more concerned with the criminal got shot dead, and the state put the copper who shot him on trial. I remember when I was in Ulster, Northern Ireland, and there was a conversation between senior NCOs, and I just happened to be walking past whatever I was doing, and I was listening. Everyone listens. When senior NCOs talk shop, you listen. And they're all there. And I remember them saying, you know, under no circumstances would they discharge their weapon in Northern Ireland. It's so political. It wouldn't be worth their careers. And that's what some of these armed coppers thought as well. They handed in their weapons, didn't they? After that copper got arrested for this, doing his job. The state of this country, what the hell's going on in this country? It's, man, dear me, it really is. We've got 5 years of Labour still to come. Labour will get rid of Keir Starmer, but who will they replace him with? Angela Rayner? David Lammy? Oh, God. This country deserves better. Peter Lynch deserved better. And now he's dead. Now he's gone. Cheers, Keir. That one's on you. I waited a while to make this video because I was quite angry and there were things I wanted to say, as I'm sure you wanted to say as well. But now is not the time for any exaggerated emotional responses. You need a calm, measured approach, because they use your emotional response against you. So you just gotta use your heads, folks. You gotta use your heads. Just because the Free Plasticine pro-Hamas lot in London get away with it, acting like children, fighting the police, doesn't mean we will. We have to be civilized. We have to carry on down that path. That's my belief anyway. You know, Gandhi did it with India, secured the freedom of his country from the British Empire. If he can do it peacefully, then we can have change peacefully. Know what I'm saying? I hope I'm right. Anyway, there we go. That's my video. I'm Paz49. Thanks for watching. And until the next time, Roger Trout. Hi, I'm Paz49 off that video you just watched. And I want to thank you all for all the likes, comments and shares. But now it's time to hit that subscribe button.